Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
What's going on YouTube? Diggy546. This one is an interesting one. This is a prospect that I've been interested in looking at on tape for a while. His name is Anthony Schwartz, and he is someone who's a track star pretty much. He ran track at Auburn. He set records in high school for track. He ran the 100 and 200 for anybody that doesn't know. Running a 10.21 and the 100 is flying. That means you are super fast, and that's really his talent, is that he's fast. When you look at his stats as a receiver in college, there's not much there. Now, I will show you some tape that shows that his quarterback probably let him down a couple of times, but there's not much there. There's not much there as a receiver. He does not have much polish at all. That's why, even though he's probably a guy who runs maybe a 4.2 something. Okay, so I just looked up his 40 and he ran a 4.26. So just like I thought, even though he runs a 4.26, he's still someone who isn't going to go high in this draft. That 4.26 is that's his biggest strength. He's 6 feet, which is really actually pretty good for someone that's 6 feet that runs a 4.2. Everybody else in this draft that's running like that is probably around 5'10 or 5'9. That is pretty good stats for him. Pretty good physical stats. But when you look at his college resume, 22 receptions as a freshman, 357 yards, 2 touchdowns, 211 rushing yards as a sophomore. Now he may have redshirted. I didn't see, but as a sophomore, his second season playing, 41 catches, so pretty much double the receptions he had before. Except this time he had he didn't even have 100 more yards than last year. So his average went down from 16.2 yards per reception to 10.7 yards per reception. So that's a drop there, but it shows that he did get targeted more. But he only got 1 touchdown too, so that's less than the 2 he had the year before. And then as a junior, 54 receptions, 636 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Not awful, not horrible, not the worst I've seen. Now that I'm looking at this, I think he probably played a year with Darius Slayton. So that's interesting there. But not much that he's done in college. And as you see, he's not really a polished receiver. He's someone that runs these deep routes sometimes. Most of the time, they just use him on swing passes or just use him as a weapon. They don't really see him as a receiver that's going to line up and beat press coverage or line up and run a route and, route somebody up, which is kind of disappointing as a 3-year guy. I want him to be a little bit more polished than this. I would like him to be more polished than this, but you can only do so much. I'm pretty sure he probably hasn't been playing football as seriously as long as he's been a track guy. So we can only hope that he'll continue to get better and maybe he'll turn into a late round gem. There's more background than there is substance with this player. And this is how they pretty much use him for most of the year. Brought him on a swing pass. You see him up there highlighted with the yellow arrow. He's just going to come across here and they're going to run a play action and just get the ball to him in open space. Hopefully he can make something happen. And he does a pretty good job. He uses his speed, gets right upfield. That's one thing I like. He's not really afraid of contact. He's not a guy that's just going to run out of bounds. Gets right upfield. And that's all you can hope for. He doesn't really have much polish as a route runner. So he makes up for that with just pure speed and talent. On this play, you're going to see Anthony Schwartz again, highlighted by this yellow arrow, and they're pretty much going to run the exact same play, and they do this a ton of times a game. Usually when someone only runs these kinds of plays, he can only do this. Usually you wouldn't be targeting him as much as they target him, but he gets, about 5 or 6 targets a game, and they're going to just run this swing again, and he's just going to catch this and actually get some yards. And this is just what you get out of someone this fast. He catches this ball behind the line of scrimmage, and he manages to get about 8 or 9 yards just by being faster than everybody, which is why a team is going to draft him. He's going to be a guy that's going to be helpful in the punt return game. He's going to be helpful in a kickoff game. He's going to be helpful as a gunner because he is pretty physical, actually, at his size and at his speed. I mean, imagine that 4.26 running down the field, 6 feet. I think he's 179 pounds, so he's not the biggest, but He's a guy that can get down the field in a hurry, so some team is going to want to use him. So on this play, it kind of frustrated me. Anthony Schwartz is at the bottom of your screen. Anthony Schwartz is right here. And it kind of frustrates me because now I'm thinking he's not playing with the best quarterback, first of all, because he gets missed on this throw. And then second, I'm thinking, is this coaching staff completely misusing him and not allowing him to be a receiver? Because I see a little bit of polish here. He's going to come out with a stutter off the line of scrimmage, give a hard jab outside, and then come back inside. And it's a beautiful route. It's a beautiful, well, not a beautiful route, but a beautiful release. And it makes me kind of wonder, is he being sabotaged at Auburn? Or was he being sabotaged? Watch him come off the line of scrimmage here. Quick stutter. And I'll slow this down here. Quick stutter and then hard jab outside. When he gets that hard jab outside, you see this corner, he's already opened up his hips. And when you got a guy running a 4-2 and you open up your hips to the outside and he's going inside, you're toast. You're toast because at this point, this is a track race. This is just a race. And you're going to lose pretty much 99 out of 100 times. You're going to lose. Probably the 100th time, you'll probably lose too. So this is just a race to the end zone. And he's behind the defense, but the quarterback puts it too far inside, and he has to dive. And it's just ridiculous. This should be a walk-in touchdown. This ball should have been placed outside, and this should have been a walk-in touchdown. He should have gotten this ball right here, and he scores. But instead, it's late into the inside, and it just shows you, was he being sabotaged by his quarterback and by his coaching staff? So now we got Anthony Schwartz at the bottom of the screen again. And again, is he being sabotaged? Because you see another nice stutter step off the line of scrimmage, and then he turns it into basically a rocker step, a Euro step, goes inside, gets the inside release, and then just gets vertical, which is a beautiful route that he runs. It's a great route that he runs, but for some reason, his quarterback is not able to get him the football. So let's watch this in real time. Great release. And he's setting up this rocker step right now, outside, inside. And at this point, the speed is turned on. And he separates. And first off, the football should be on him right here. Lead him to the outside, lead him up the field, whatever you got to do. I know you see the safety over the top. So this ball should be put on the outside shoulder. Even then, the ball isn't thrown, and he's going to outrun the safety. The safety bites down. I guess the quarterback looks like he pumps fakes right here. Or he completely reads this wrong. He reads the quarterback wrong, and he's driving down, and you got nothing between him but grass and the end zone. It's just grass, and the quarterback can't put the ball on him. I just don't get it. I don't get it. And again, he had 600 yards as this past year as a junior. But he could have very well had 1,000. Looking at this game, he might have been able to get 200 yards. And it's not because he's so great of a route runner, because he's so this or that. It's just because his speed has allowed him to get behind defenses over and over again, but his quarterback can't hit him. He's shown that he has a decent toolbox at the line of scrimmage. Decent toolbox. And they refuse to let him consistently run routes. So it's just confusing. So what do I think about Anthony Schwartz? I think he's someone who has a lot of potential, and this isn't a bad thing. I think some of it is that he needs to continue to develop. A lot of it, of course, is that he needs to develop. He needs to get developed as a route runner. But partially why he needs to develop as a route runner is because his coaching staff seems like they're not really that adept at using him. It doesn't seem like they know how to use him in an effective way. Someone with this kind of speed and this kind of agility at the college level really should be having more stats in it. He should be doing better than this, especially since he has this ability at the line of scrimmage. He should be a much better player, statistically than what he showed up as. So I expect the team to see him in the 5th, 6th, maybe even 7th round. I don't see him getting to the 7th round running the 4-2, but 5th or 6th round, really snatching this guy up, using him as a return man early, trying to go to Tyreek Hill route. I'm not comparing him to Tyreek Hill. I'm not comparing him to him. The only guy I compared to Tyreek Hill in this class is Jalen Waddle, and I still stand by that. But using him as a return man and working him into the offense, using him in different situations, I think that's the best way for Anthony Schwartz to work his way into an offense. And he has the potential to do pretty much anything he wants. He really has that kind of potential. So Anthony Schwartz is an intriguing prospect. I wouldn't mind if he ended up on my team, but wherever he ends up, I think in a couple of years, he's going to really have the chance to be, a number 2, number 3 receiver that's going to take the tops off of a lot of defenses. So you guys let me know what you think of Anthony Schwartz. He's definitely somebody I'm going to keep my eye out for on day 3. So if you made it this deep into the video, I'm calling you a D6 squad member. If you're a D6 squad member, you got to hit that subscribe button. You got to turn on that notification bell. And listen, I make all kinds of content for NFL teams. So if you're not a Giants fan, don't worry. I'll cover your team. If I'm not covering your team, let me know. And have a good one.